Welcome to Tech Wells. We can see how investment can be for a startup, even for the investor that is investing in any startup. Join us every Friday, 12 p.m. West African time, as we discuss everything about startup investment in the world of blockchain, crypto, and fintech in Africa. Only on Coin News Extra TV.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a beautiful program, Tech Wells. This is a program that talks about startup investment in the blockchain and fintech ecosystem and investors. So it's kind of a convergence for both startups and VCs and angel investors in the blockchain ecosystem. It is Tech Wells. It comes your way every Fridays, 12 p.m. West African time. So I'm your host for the show, Lee Uchama. So today we're going to be looking at building a successful tech startup, hell or heaven. So we're going to be seeing some of those challenges that are facing startups. How is it is it a smooth road for startups in the tech ecosystem, or is it a rough one for them, and is it a mix of both? So those are things we're going to be looking at on this show today. So we are streaming across 4 channels. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, Twitter, and on LinkedIn. So anywhere you are joining us from, do well to like and share for more people to see and also get informed and educated about this ecosystem the more. So we're going to be looking at that, building a successful tech startup, hell or heaven. Building a startup, we may have seen a lot of startups springing up in the blockchain and crypto ecosystem. A lot of them, because of it's still at its infant stage. So a lot of startups are springing up, and you see some startups get to die on the way, some get to grow averagely, some get to just disappear along the way, and few just get to become successful. Some become a unicorn, and some become a decacorn. A lot of them are out there. So we're going to be looking at some of those challenges that these startups face, even the founders. So is it a heaven, a safe heaven? Is it a hell for them, or is it a mix of both? Those are we're going to be looking at. So do not go anywhere. We'll go for a quick break. When we return, I'll welcome our guest, and then we'll dive into the conversation proper. We'll be right back. Yeah, welcome back. It's still Tech Wares live on Coin News Extra TV. So we are looking at building a successful tech startup. Is it a hell or is it a safe heaven? So my guest is Yasser Kwayam. He is joining us from UK. He's the co-founder and COO Quick Trust. You are welcome.
Ali, how you doing?
Yeah, so how are you doing today? It's our pleasure to have you on the show today.
Likewise, thanks for having me, Lee.
Thank you very much. So we're looking to get your opinion on the way for startups. So the journey, how is it for startups in the tech ecosystem? When someone is from far, you can be looking at some startups. Some people put up smiles, some startups put up front end, good front end, but deep down at the back end, they are facing a lot of challenges. They are struggling. So seeing that you are a co-founder and CEO of Quick Trust, so how has this been for you and the team so far?
Um, so far, it's been good for us. We are operating in an industry which is $36 billion industry, so it's massive. The pie is huge. And we are also in a space where everyone's looking for digitization. We are working on a digital signature platform, which is blockchain based. So it's been good so far for us. The overarching thing over here is, and it's an interesting topic. Is it hell or heaven? It's an interesting topic because every startup sets out to do all the right intentions, but along the way they sort of things happen, and the intention gets diverted. But I would say it's a mix of both. For us, I wouldn't say it's hell because the team is passionate about the problem we try to solve. There's a market for the solution. So I wouldn't say it's hell, but I wouldn't say it's heaven. It's somewhere in between, depending on what day it is and what the problems you're facing. So it's a mix of both, but the mindset that you come with is important. When you get a startup, it's important that you come with the right mindset. Um, and if you're out there looking to solve a problem, then it definitely is fruitful.
Now, interesting. As a startup founder, you look at some of those challenges in building the startup from scratch. In your case, I know you have raised a fund, seed round. Um, so before, how was the journey before you were able to raise fund?
So before the one thing is clear that before you raise funds, before you go to investors to say invest in us, you've got to show something to the investors. So before we raised our round, we had an MVP and we had a product market fit, and that was important. So that was bootstrapped along the way. There are some businesses that go on a pitch deck and raise funds, but they are far and few in between. If you have to prove to the investors that you're capable of doing things, you're capable of delivering, it's important for your startup to be able to build an MVP cheaply, quickly, which it can be quick and dirty, and then you go to investors to raise funds. So I think one takeaway would be for anyone looking to get into the space is to get a product market fit and build a quick and dirty MVP, um, and that proves the team's skill to develop something and build something.
When it comes to this ecosystem, most especially in the tech space, you see a lot of announcements. Many startups are raising funds, not only across the globe. A lot of startups are raising funds, and all the rest of them. Do you think startups can only survive by raising funds? And there are startups. Is it possible for startups to scale without even raising funds from VCs or angels?
Yeah, I mean the biggest example is Canva. They were bootstrapped and they didn't raise funds and they're a massive organization and they've recently got sold. So Canva is a very good example on that. But for majority of them, you got to have a good revenue stream. You've got to have a decent product, a good product market fit. And if you can monetize it, if you can start selling that product pretty quickly, then it becomes easier for you to bootstrap it. Otherwise, in our case, we bootstrapped the MVP. We then went out to the market and then we raised token sale. We raised some funds. And now we're in the second phase. So the seed round, basically equity round right now. And that's because we've gone through the product iteration twice now. We have 26,000 users on our platform. So it is a slightly better and easier story to sell.
Yeah, yes, sir. How was it for you? Sorry, I'm going this route. How was it for you? I just want people, maybe some startup founders that are maybe listening or watching us, to understand how was it for you, to and your team to engage investors when you wanted to raise fund? How was the experience? Was it that difficult?
It is very difficult. It's not easy. I'm not gonna sit here and say we cruise through. My inbox is filled with rejections or VCs passing over. So the industry rate is 0.5%. So you have to keep in for every 200 decks that you send to VCs, you'll get one response. Um, but the good thing is that the positive thing is that you only need that one VC to say yes. So it is long and a hard journey. It's not easy. But if you believe in your product, if you believe in what you're doing, the problem that you're solving, and the market that you're in is big enough, and your product solves a niche problem, then yeah, then definitely you are motivated and you keep going.
How long did it take you and your team to raise the seed round? And what were some of the questions or where the investors were paying attention?
It took us between 6 to 8 months to do that. We had produced our white paper, we had a product in the market, we designed all of that, and it took us between 6 to 8 months to raise the initial 1.7 token sale. Yeah. Um, it wasn't easy. That's how long it takes. For the 5 million that we are raising right now, we've been working on that for the last couple of months, and I think it'll take us, even in this market, it'll take us another 4 or 5 months to raise that. And if we can raise it sooner, and if if someone's listening, if someone's interested, if someone's a VC in the network, and they want to talk to us, happy to do that because we're raising an equity round right now. And I think typically people say that within 6 to 8 months. In a good market, it could be sooner, but typically that's what it takes. Yeah.
Interesting. Coming soon, we are going to be asking him to tell us more about our Quick Trust and what they intend to achieve. But before that, we'll go for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the conversation. Yeah, welcome back to the show. It's still TechWares live on Coin News Extra TV. So we're talking about building a successful tech startup, hell or heaven. A wonderful conversation it has really been with Yasser Kwayam, who is the co-founder and COO of Quick Trust. Let me hear from you, Yasser. Can you tell us about Quick Trust and what led to it and what you intend to achieve with Quick Trust?
It's an interesting story. So a couple of years ago, Simon, one of our co-founders, he was working on mergers and acquisitions, and the amount of data that flies around in mergers and acquisitions is quite huge. Typically, people use Dropbox or Google Drive to store the data. The problem with that is anyone that has access to data can modify the data, amend the data, and there's no provenance on there. Now, what we started doing, what the initial build was pretty straightforward, which was, you upload a document on blockchain, and it's recorded on chain, and it's logged on chain. It's validated by someone in the team, and people then can see the data on chain and say, right, so this data is verified. So we had a little green tick in there, which every data that's verified, and the data that's not verified was an amber. So it was quite an easy way to manage and see. It's a visual thing that we incorporated. So that's where it started. So M&A, and then we sort of built that out functionality out as a digital signature platform, and then on chain, because once the document is uploaded, you can send it to multiple parties to sign and approve it, and all that. All those transactions are recorded on chain, and that provides us proof of authenticity that the document is validated and signed by all the involved parties. We applied for a patent last year, which is attaching validated user identity to NFTs and digital signatures. That means that it makes it a little bit more robust, or a lot more robust than current incumbents in the market. Any digital signature platform, it makes it a little bit more robust. So that's a moat around the product. And then of course that's just one of the functionalities that we have built, and we also have super NFT. We also have data management. We also provide cloud storage, KYCs on the platform. So yeah, so that's the product. That's what QuickTrust does. We are a more robust and a lot more cheaper solution than that's out there. Using Hyperledger Fabric, which is enterprise solution. So our targets are enterprise customers and clients. Can you hear me? Please, that. So whilst Lee's sorting that out, Lee comes back. I'll just tell you a little bit more if you want to. So we launched the version 2 of the product in November, and since then we have gathered around 26,000 users on our platform, which has been great. The next stage is that grow the customer base and convert those customers into paying customers onto our platform. So that's the next challenge, of course. And of course, in the meantime, in parallel, we're raising funds. We're raising $5 million dollars funds for equity so that we can take it to the next level. Build a sales function, build a robust marketing function, and actually scale this. There are other competitors in the market which have raised high amounts, but for us, we will do it right. So what we want to do is they raise the 5 million that will last us for a couple of years, and then we can scale it from there. Of course, as we scale, we'll need more resources, more funds, and but the idea is to raise the initial 5 million, show traction, show growth, and then go for a bigger round next after that. Um, there could be multiple exits and on this. It could be acquiring a company as to partner with us, or the exit could be selling to a big organization. We don't know that yet. We haven't clarified that yet. But the focus first remains that raise the 5 million, scale and grow the company. If we can achieve 26,000 users in a couple of months that we've been live, I'm sure we can, scale it a lot more harder, a lot more faster in the next couple of years after we reach this point. Lee, does that answer your question?
Welcome back. Sorry for the I wish we were able to resolve. Welcome back to the show. It's still Takeaways. We are sorry for the breakdown in transmission. So we are back now. So yes, sir. Sorry for that. Can you continue with the conversation on how the journey looks like when you were about to raise funds?
Raising funds is a difficult one. You speak to different people have different ideas on how to go about it. But the core thing remains is that you have to show that the team is capable of building a good team. The founders are competent and capable of building a team, which we have shown. We have circa 19 people that work with us on the product and the different functions. The second thing is that we build a product out. So we have a product in the market, so the team is confident in building product and evolving the product. We have shown product market fit. So from the first version, we went to lawyers and accountants and got the feedback, and then rolled out the second version, which is our product market fit. We are able to attract users to the platform, which is in the terms that since November, since December time when the product was first launched. The second version was launched. We were able to amass 26,000 users onto the platform. And then the second thing is, how do we scale it and how do we monetize it, and that's what we're going through right now. We have a clear strategy on how to convert the users into paid customers and then grow and scale. We are present in America, so we have legal signature providers, accepted signatures in the American jurisdiction and in Europe. We are also working in the African market, which is a massive market. I was in Riyadh last week, which had some great conversations over there for Saudi market. That market is quite fresh, quite new. Everyone's trying to digitize their space, including law firms, banks, big organizations. So there's a lot that we're doing currently in different jurisdictions in different places. So I think those are things that are all the green flags that the investors look for. So hopefully, it should be an easy journey for us to raise funds.
Yeah, so some startups they build to sell along the way. Some build to scale it to become a unicorn or even a decacorn. Which one do you think is best?
I mean, I don't know what's best for others, but I think I'll go with decacorn. That's the aim. That's the goal. And I say goal and not a dream. That's the goal. And it requires a lot of hard work and grit. And I think the team has that hard work and grit to get there.
Interesting. Yasi, I would like to get your advice, your input, your advice, your encouragement to other startup founders who are working to grow their company, to raise funds. What's your general advice for them?
Be resilient. resilience is something that you will need. You will get rejected. You will get turned down. People will, there will be competition in the market. But if you're resilient, then you will be successful. And I think that's one of the traits that I think is respected the most. You will fall. It's how quickly you get back up. Brush yourself and carry on with the process. So resilience and focus.
Thank you very much, Yase Yam, co-founder and CEO of Quick Trust, for joining us today on Tech Words. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Lee. It was really lovely speaking to you guys, and yeah, best of luck to everyone. And if anyone wants to reach out for any advice or using a platform or anything of that nature, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter. Reach out to me. Go to www.quicktrust.com, and my contact details are on there as well. So yeah, feel free to reach out, and happy to speak to anyone that's interested.
Interesting. Thank you very much for that. It's Tech Wells. We've looked at building a successful tech startup, hell or heaven. We've been able to see some of those challenges that we've been able to hear from a successful startup founder who is also building in the ecosystem. Tech Wells, we are here to be able to convey this message and to educate our people about the industry, how to build this. The purpose of this program is for us to be able to expose startups and also for startups that are coming up in the ecosystem to hear the story of others. You can't do this alone. You cannot be an island. So you have to come to hear from others and stay encouraged. So do well to stay connected with us. We still have our program Week in View that is coming up by 4 p.m. West African time. Sorry, it's a program where we highlight all the top headlines in the ecosystem and make our little inputs for you to be able to understand it. So if you miss all the top headlines, the trending headlines in the ecosystem, do not miss out. We have you covered. Come join us by 4 p.m. West African time today for all the top trending headlines. So thank you very much. I'm signing out for this show. Thank you for your time. Thank you for our guest, our audience. We really appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.
Welcome to Tech Wells. We can see how investment can be for a startup, even for the investor that is investing in any startup. Join us every Friday, 12 p.m. West African time, as we discuss everything about startup investment in the world of blockchain, crypto, and fintech in Africa. Only on Coin News Extra TV.